as I was walking down the street of Grand Forks one day, I passed a recruiter's office, and I thought, maybe that's what I'll go to this one. And so I went in, and there were two young men at the desk, and I said, if I joined, could you guarantee that I would go to Vietnam? And they, I think they thought I was not right in the head. They laughed with each other, looking at me, and they said, well, I don't know if we could, but if you think you'd like to go, probably I'll say. So I signed. And when I told my family, they thought I wasn't exactly right in the head either, but I think really they were proud. As time has passed and I've become older and more thoughtful, it seemed very useless. The whole war effort itself seems to have been useless. I'm not sure what was gained. I'm pleased that I was there to do what I was doing. Because that there was a war, I couldn't do anything about it, but I could be helpful to somebody. One thing I only recently thought of, we had a prisoner of war unit at the hospital I worked with. And those people, Vietnamese, who were there as prisoners of war, received the very same kind of care as the other American soldiers. And I thought how odd it is that when they're in war, and yet in the human needs of people, person to person, we're so much alike. We have the same needs we have. And I was grateful that I saw that the hospital I worked in provided that. It was the right thing to do.
Hi, Mr. Becker? Yeah, hi. This is Mrs. Keegan. Yep. Yes, the woman that you helped move in last weekend. Yes, the family near the park. Hi. Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for asking. There seems to be a little problem. Well, I seem to be missing a box, and oh, no, nothing like that. It's a smaller box. It was in a bigger box, and, well, its contents are sentimental, I suppose you could say, and they're from the war in Vietnam. No, not my husband, me. I was in Vietnam. I was a nurse in the orthopedic unit. Well, of course, I enlisted. They didn't draft women. I volunteered to go as a nurse. Yes, sir, I was far from combat. No, I wasn't crazy. Young, adventurous, perhaps, but not crazy. But anyway, this isn't why I called you. I just need to find the box. "19th of December, 1967. Today, a young boy came in presenting with a concussion and many fractures. Left hip, left shoulder, both arms, 3 ribs. He was struck during a convoy today when our soldiers were passing out candy to village children. The driver didn't see him till he'd already been struck. He is civilian, Vietnamese, South. But even if he was from the North, that wouldn't matter. Everyone here is treated just the same. His sisters came in with him to the field hospital. They speak a little bit of English, and they stated that his name is Win Vin Tron. There appear to be no parents. Tonight, since regaining consciousness at 1900 hours, upon seeing his sisters, he hasn't stopped smiling. And it is expected that he will make a long but full recovery, especially if he continues to exhibit this optimistic attitude. It's hard to believe that I started off my life as a simple girl from North Dakota. Well, it's even harder to imagine that just a year ago I was ready to take my final vows to become a nun with the Presentation Sisters. Well, it's no wonder that the recruiters look at me like I was from Mars when I walked into that office and enlisted. It wasn't every day that a woman came in and said, "If you promise to send me to Vietnam, I will sign up right now." But here I am. Oh, the stories I will have to tell my grandchildren. I suppose for starters, I could begin with my friend Sally, whom I met on the airplane to training. Oh, it's funny really, country girl meets city girl. She was so poised and polished, and I figured if someone like her had signed up, then I'd be okay. Or I could tell them about the time that I met General Westmoreland and I didn't recognize him. Didn't even salute. Oh, it's going to be a while before I live that one down around here. 11th of February, 1968. Dear Sally, how are you? Well, I'm fine now, but things have been stressful around here. Last week, I was nearly hit with a piece of ceiling when it fell in the unit during an air raid. But things have settled down. How are things over in your field hospital? I hope this letter finds you well and safe. I must tell you what's been weighing most heavily on my mind. You remember that boy I wrote you about last month, Win? Well, he's been here for 2 months now, and he's almost fully recovered. And I know that I should be overjoyed, but to be honest, I'm as sad as I am happy. I'm really going to miss him. Last night, as a thank you for taking care of their brother, his sisters presented me with a gift. An áo dai, a traditional Vietnamese dress, and the most beautiful pair of red lacquer shoes. I'll have to show them to you sometime. The craziest part about all of it was that it fit perfectly when I tried it on, and they hadn't even gotten my measurements. I don't know how they did it. A thank you, a parting gift. My term is almost up, and I'll serve the rest of my time out in the States. And there are many things that I will not miss about this place. The smell of fertilizer on the fields, for instance. No, I just enlisted because I wanted an adventure. What people expect when they hear that I was in Vietnam, they always expect me to tell a sad tale. But you need to understand that it wasn't like that for me. You know, I signed up because I just wanted an adventure. Well, and to help people, of course, but mostly an adventure. Did I get one? I did. He was 12 years old and his name was Win.